Jean. I'm Jean. I'm Jean. Hello. And I'm glad you're here. We're talking about something that I think we all want to know more about. Living the good life. Good life. You're like, what even is that? Like, what's the good life? Okay, just here's what I need you to know. You can do a lot right now, even as middle schoolers, to help set yourselves on a path to living your best life. Now, some of you are listening to me right now and thinking, I have to do something to live this good life? I already have a lot of things to do, like school, sports, following the rules at home. I don't have any more time or energy left to do anything that requires hard work. Ugh. And trust me, I totally get it. I mean, one time in 7th grade, when I was in the orchestra, I played the violin. That's not what it sounds like. It's more like. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Anyways, I would always try and compete and try and get first chair playing the violin. And what first chair is basically, that just means like you're the best. You're the best out of everyone else who plays violin. You got to sit in this first chair and kind of lead everyone in the orchestra, right? I could never make that spot. I always was the second chair. I sat next to the person who was first chair. His name was Edward. And he was just so good at violin. And I would have to work so hard every day to just be as good as he is. And we've all been there, right? It's just so hard. I mean, I think all of us know what it's like to work hard towards something. And honestly, I don't think any of us would say that feels like the good life. Oh, like mowing the lawn. Yay, so fun. When we think about living the good life, we picture ourselves at the end of all that hard work, just kicking back and enjoying the payoff of reaching all of those goals. Maybe you're the type of person who talks about your goals openly, or maybe you're too scared to even write them down in a journal because someone might see them. Dear journal, are you? Regardless, the reality is this. We all have dreams about what's next. We all have goals that we want to achieve to help us live the good life. But when we picture them, we just picture the finish line. We tend to forget that in order to get there, we actually have to do the hard work. But let's be real. Hard work isn't really anybody's idea of a good time. It's not something most of us would probably even say we enjoy. And a lot of the time, we do just about anything to avoid it, because we all have things that stop us from working hard. For some of us, working hard means people will find out we actually care about something. And sometimes it's cooler to look like you don't care, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. I don't care about that. For others of us, hard work means putting in effort, but not ending up getting the results we want. And that means disappointment. And nobody wants to experience that. So maybe you're thinking it's better not to just try at all. Or sometimes all that hard work feels hopeless. We're putting in so much time and effort towards something, and we just can't see the end result yet. And when the results don't come as quickly as we'd hoped, we start to feel as if they'll never come at all. Or maybe for you, it's not that you're trying to avoid hard work. It's just that something better came along to distract you from it. Ooh, yeah, like that. I know you know what that's like. Like you wanted to remember to finish your chores, but then that new show on Netflix came out, and then before you know it, it's like, are you still watching? And you're like, yes, of course I am. Or you had every intention of starting that project early instead of the night before it was due. Wait, you mean my project's due the next day? I haven't gotten started on it at all. But then your friends wanted to hang out every day after school. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna pass on working on that project. I can work on it later. You plan to get in those extra practices before tryouts. And then it was summer, and that meant it was time to relax. Again, relax. Hey, I get it. When it comes to hard work, I feel all that and more. I plan to work hard for the things that are really important to me. Sometimes I even start doing it, but then I just don't. And what happens? Well, I'm frustrated by the results. I find myself thinking, well, I was going to do that, But, can we just stop here and imagine what the world would be like if everyone lived with this "I was going to" approach to hard work and responsibility? If the people you depend on began opting out of their responsibilities because they found something more fun to do, because something distracted them from or frustrated them about hard work? Like, what if your coach had every intention of going to practice, but decided to stay home and play video games for a week right before the big game? Man. Your team's chances of winning the championship would be pretty low. Or what if your parents planned to go to the grocery store and make dinner, but they got frustrated with the effort it required, so they decided not to do it? Your whole family would be super hungry. Or what if your small group leader meant to show up and lead your discussion this week, but decided it just wasn't worth the drive? You'd be pretty disappointed, right? Where's my small group leader? Where's my small group leader? What if I just decided I didn't feel like talking anymore? I'm kidding. I love talking. That's why I'm here. When it comes to following through with plans or putting in the effort to make things happen, we often choose what seems to be easy or fun over taking ownership of our responsibilities. Well, where does that get us? Well, I can tell you where it doesn't get us, and that's closer to the good life. So what do we do? If hard work is just that, hard, then what do we do to help us get motivated to do it? If it's going to help us live the good life, how do we help ourselves keep doing it? In the Bible, there are a lot of stories about a king named Solomon. He was known as the wisest man to have ever lived, and a lot of the wisdom God gave him is written down in a book of the Bible called Proverbs. A proverb is a truth about the way life generally works. It's not a promise, it's a principle, a guiding rule. Now, Solomon's Proverbs aren't 100% guarantees, but since he was the wisest man ever, God definitely gave him insight into how the world works. So Solomon would have known about the paths that most often lead to the good life. And I think the wisdom Solomon shared in the proverb we're looking at today can help us a lot when it comes to a struggle with hard work. Here's what it says. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. Now, have you ever seen a colony of ants gathering food for the winter and taking it to their nest? I have. You know why? Because I have an ant farm! Ta-da! This is my ant farm, guys. Welcome to Geneville. These are all my friends and buddies. Okay, ants are awesome and they're cool, but what do they have to do with you and your good life goals? Well, everything. You see, at first glance, ants don't seem all that smart. They're tiny and scurry around in what seems like no direction. But believe it or not, they're actually really wise. They work super hard all summer, gathering and storing food for the winter. They know that when winter comes, food is gonna be really hard to find. So if they work hard now, they'll see the benefits later. Now, your idea of the good life might not involve working in the hot sun to store up food for the winter, but you do have goals and dreams. And in order to reach them, you have to put in the work. Your homework and chores won't get done unless you do them. The French horn won't magically learn to play itself. And you can't just show up to your soccer game and expect to make the winning goal without putting in some practice first. If you want your future to look a certain way, you have to put in the hard work first. What would happen if these ants didn't work hard all summer to store food? They'd starve when winter came. My poor ants. And what will happen if you don't put in the hard work when it comes to your goals and responsibilities? Well, you may not starve, but you'll probably miss out on some really great things in your life. If you don't do your chores, then you won't get to hang out with your friends over the weekend. If you don't do your homework, you might not get the grades you need to pass your class. It's just like, remember at the beginning, earlier I was telling you, I was trying to get first chair? Well, all year I practiced and practiced so hard. I played my scales, I practiced my songs, I did all that. And eventually I was able to beat Edward and got first chair. Woo! Ooh, ooh, Jean got first chair. Ooh, ooh. Sorry, Edward. You see, the goals and outcomes you want for your good life are connected to the work you put in today. So if you want the good life, treat today like it matters. Now, putting in hard work doesn't always guarantee that you'll get what you've been working towards. You might study super hard for that test and still fail. You might do drills every day and still not win your tennis match. But does that mean we shouldn't put in the work to try to attain our good life? No! God doesn't want us to live the in-between of dreaming and living. He wants us to pursue His best for us. He wants us to treat today like it matters, like it impacts our future. He wants us to chase after and live the good life. But the difference between wanting the good life and living the good life is doing something about it rather than just talking about it. And it can start today. Today. Now remember, if you want the good life, treat today like it matters. If you want to enjoy the benefits of your hard work one day, you've got to own your responsibilities and put in the work today. When you choose to put effort into certain areas of your life, that's choosing to pursue the good life. When you put effort into getting your assignment done on time, you may or may not get the grade, but what you will gain is the discipline it takes to get the job done. Get it done. When you put work into prepping for your soccer game or chorus concert, you learn to recognize what doing your best looks and feels like. Every single one of us is on a path towards something in life right now. So start this week by asking yourself this: what's one goal I have? What's one thing I want to accomplish in my life? In this year, even this week? Is it making the team, passing your math test, or even just being kinder to your siblings? Whatever it is, identify that thing in your life. Then ask yourself this next question: what hard work do I need to put in to help me get there? Is it setting aside some much needed practice time? Is it setting a reminder to make sure you study? Maybe you need to make more time with your brothers or sisters. Whatever it is, there's something in your life that requires more effort to help you get where you want to go. And in order to get to the good life in that one area, you're gonna have to put in the work, because what you do today impacts the future life you'll lead. If you want the good life, treat today like it matters. We all have areas in our life that we could stand to put more effort into. So as we head out today, think about your answer to this question: what's one area in my life where I struggle to put in hard work? Make more tunnels. Make more tunnels.